Hi, everybody. It's meteorologist Erica Martin with Weather Co-op, where weather meets community. I hope you're all having a wonderful Sunday night or Saturday night, Sunday morning. Oh my gosh, I'm a day ahead. So, guys, I decided to make it in. Many of you know I'm feeling under the weather. I'm feeling like 80% better. So, I could not leave you guys without some updates. I didn't come in earlier because I did see those tornado watches. I didn't think they were going to go tornadic. Doesn't matter. I certainly was not in the condition to come in, but now I am. We'll do about maybe 10-minute hits, maybe 5 of them, load them up, and then you guys can look at them because I do know that the 2 hour hits, 3 hour hits, they're popular with some of you, but many of you just like the quick and dirty weather forecast. So let's go ahead and focus on that. There is a lot to go over. We've got weather around the world. We even have some tropical or subtropical features to discuss. Ooh, it's quite a teaser, right? But first, let me make sure I'm logged on across all of my platforms here so we can go live and we can rock and roll. Are we going live? We are going live and we are live everywhere. I'm so pumped, guys. Okay. So I'm going to break this down in a couple of different ways as I expressed to you earlier. So I'm going to give you a quick look here at our national map. Okay. This is when I talk about CONUS, contiguous US. This is what we're looking at right here. I talked about this a few days ago. I did think we'd see some flood watches, maybe some advisories, alerts, things of like that flood nature, things that would definitely make us really concerned when it comes to the potential for flash flooding. Those have been issued. We're still seeing some in effect. I do think we'll get more tomorrow, Monday, and even Tuesday. Okay. Now I'll explain why in just one moment. We have winter weather as well. As I mentioned to you earlier, we had some tornado watches issued by the National Weather Service and some severe thunderstorm warnings. So, with that said, I'm going to show you our local storm reports for the last 12 hours. Okay. That's going to be really important to notice and to see, what's happened over the past couple of hours. Did we indeed get a tornado? Did we not? Certainly want to let you guys know. Okay, here we go. So there it is for the past, let me update this to the past 12 hours rather. Okay. All right, I'm still a little congested, so I'm kind of very loud. I mean, look, I'm loud normally, okay, just between you and I, but I'm even louder right now. Okay, just because congested. Looks like we have some wind issues right along the west coast, central coast region there. We'll get to that in a moment as well. But I want to talk about these storm reports. Last 12 hours, snow, glorious snow, that 4-letter word that so many of you hate and I love. Snow accumulation so far in Alpine County. It looks like 5 inches and counting. You see that little PDT? That's about to change. And I do have your fallback forecast, guys. Super pumped about that. We're still seeing that. Ah! Oh my God, I can't believe I'm not in Shasta County. Why am I not there? Well, because I'm here. 15 and a half inches of snow? Are you kidding me? Oh my God. Wait till you get me all hot and sweaty around here, guys. You all know that like my love language is snow. I love snow. Okay. In fact, that's how we found our wedding location. So let me just give you a little bit more insight into my love life. When when Jay proposed to me, it was like a few months before COVID. Hi guys, how are you? It was a few months before COVID, and of course, we didn't know COVID was happening. We went to Laguna Beach to go check out a really cool location, super nice. Thankfully, my mom, Lydia, many of you who know Lydia know how Lydia is. She is a tough cookie. So I love that tough cookie. I love my mommy. But she's adorable. Anyways, so she's definitely a cutie pie. And he proposed. We went to go check out the location, Laguna Beach. My mom hated it. She was like, typical Latina mom. Well, it's up to you. I'm not gonna, I think that's typical of any mom. It's your choice. I'm not gonna, if you don't pick a good location, it's up to you. So we were like, all right, fine. So let things go by. This was December. January, I ended up getting a call for a really cool job in Salt Lake City, took it, and 5 days later, it was COVID, right? So I was like, great. I was supposed to have a wedding this year, and we were supposed to have such, an amazing time here in Salt Lake City. So we ended up hiking one day, and we went to Park City. We just kept going really far up, and Chloe took off. She goes all the way to the top of this mountain, and we're at Deer Valley. We're in Deer Valley, and she keeps on going all the way up to the top, over 9,800 feet. I was so sick, and she discovered a really snowy location that was called the church, or is called the Church of Dirt, and that's where we got married. And Chloe found it as she was running through all of that snow up to a 9,800-foot location. So that's where we got married, and Intermountain West is about to get some good snow. We're going to go over that in just one moment, but we can see here, it looks like Shasta. You guys have 15 and a half inches of snow. Wow. So jealous. I am super hoping I'll be able to get there soon enough. Okay. Also, let's take a look. I talked about the potential for flood alerts to be issued. That's exactly what we saw here. Unfortunately, those tornado watches were right around the New Mexico-Texas border. So, Odessa, Carlsbad, New Mexico, those areas. But we are seeing some flooding. And let me go ahead and stop this and leave this to now. So the actual radar, SATRAD, is stop to now. Okay. The location you're seeing here is smack dab in the middle of the country, which is why you have it on Central Standard Time, even though, we're there. We're almost there. Not quite yet, but so we're going to go ahead and get ahead of that curve. You can see here it's still listed as CDT on the actual report. Okay. So we, Lubbock, Texas, you guys had a picture from social media of a police cruiser stranded in high waters. My gosh. Wow. I hope he's okay. I hope she's okay. I hope they're okay. Oh my God. Let's see here. Hail reported. Hail size 2.25 inches. Just over 2.25 inches. Wow. All right. In Gaines County, Texas, Seminole. Let's see what else we have here. Looks like more hail. And we did get some more flooding reports too. Rain accumulation. Wow. In Harvey County, Kansas. Shout out to Kansas. Love you guys there. Winfield, Kansas is one of my favorite places. 4.5 inches heavy rain reported. And in Harper County, Kansas, over almost 2 inches of rain reported. So this is just the beginning of what I think is going to be an active weather pattern over the next couple of days. You guys have to keep in mind, we are now entering the amplification mode. Okay. This is when we go meridional, very, very normal, right? Because we're like hot, moist air. No. Hot, dry air from the desert Southwest. No, cold, dry air. So then it starts to all battle out. So you're going to get these meridional flows, as we saw, like when we were looking at the weather around the world. We saw how all of these things are connected. And in just one moment, you're going to see what's happening with Patty, subtropical storm. This is how I introduced this entire forecast for you guys. But right now, I want to show you guys what was happening. Still having wind issues across portions of New England. Let me bring this back, though. I want to go ahead and focus on what's happening. We have, look, here's another thing that we're seeing. We're going to just start uncovering things. Let me peel these back, okay? Pull back the radar, pull back the satellite, and let's focus on these updates here. So here's the thing, Oklahoma, you guys are going to be in the crosshairs over the next couple of days, all right? So just remember that, because we do have some people watching with questions. I'm going to try and get to that. You guys know, by the way, that I'm not that great with answering those questions on the fly. I almost feel like you guys should just ping me right into my IG, because I'll see that better. But we have our severe thunderstorm watch issued by the National Weather Service. This is just going to be a pretty typical situation over the next couple of days, okay? So just keep that in your back pocket for information. Call your loved ones, let them know, because you're going to want to know what's happening there. Severe thunderstorm warning also. This is going to be because of what's happening in light of an area of low pressure developing. We have a dry line. You guys know those dry lines, even if it isn't a very strong one, tend to be make the atmosphere very unstable. That's already one of the hints that we need, right? We're in unstable atmosphere. We already know something's going to happen, right? And then we add on this area of low pressure. That's something else we have to keep in mind. Oh, wait, not the sweeping radar. We're going to go ahead and focus on our radar. And I believe this is just our mosaic at 1 kilometer. This isn't anything fancy. It's just like your basic. That's fine. It's not, we don't need anything else right now. But you can see here that see where the wind is all coming together or converging. Do you see this? All right. This is telling us that this is an area of interest. And of course, since weather generally works west to east, right? I think the problem we're going to start to see is going to continue to creep like up and along, like towards like the across the Mississippi Valley, like central Mississippi Valley, and up and across into the like Midwest area, Ohio Valley. That's where we're going to keep an eye out for. Missouri, you guys are going to get some really strong storms. Wouldn't be surprised if you get a tornado or two. Okay, so just putting that out there right now. Looks like a hydrology report for portions of the Gulf. Let's go ahead and highlight that very quickly. Okay, let's see what's happening here, guys. We always like to know. Coastal flood advisory issued. We also have Memphis, right? We've got some really interesting weather here. We want to make sure that we do have all eyes here on what's happening. Wait a minute. I see Memphis. What did I say that for? Flood watch. No, there's nothing over Memphis. Why did I say that? Okay. We have, yeah, flood watches that we're watching. And what else? Like I said, Kansas. You guys are in this interesting area as that upper level feature begins to develop. It's going to be a low that, okay, so what's going to happen is we have this dry line, right? We have a warm front that's going to sweep on through. Right behind that, there's going to be this cold front, but we're also going to have to deal with that dry line. And remember what I told you guys, the dry line separates the warm, dry air from the warm, moist air, which we're getting plenty of from what? From the Gulf, as you can see here, right? So that's going to be one of the bigger issues, right? So we're going to see that the Gulf air is going to just move on in while it's battling out the atmosphere over here with this dry, warm air, okay? So this is where that dry line forms, and unfortunately, as that warm front continues to sweep eastward, that cold front's going to dive down, and those just do not like each other, and I'm going to show you what's going to happen in just a moment. But as I promised, I had to get to the West Coast, okay? Because this, oftentimes, people in California are like, oh, it's always nice. Well, Central, Southern California, it's always nice. We don't need a forecast. Like, yeah, you do. Okay. You don't know what you need. I know what you need. All right. And what we need, of course, is an update on fire weather warnings, right? Fire weather warning, red flag warning issued from 7 p.m. Sunday to 6 p.m. Monday. Strong gusty winds, San Bernardino County mountains, portions of the Inland Empire, mainly below the Cajon Pass. Cajon Pass. We also have a wind advisory, so very dry air, very arid. We have more wind advisories. This is a freeze watch issued. So southern Salinas Valley, San Luis Obispo, County Interior Valleys, Antelope Valley, including the cities of Paso Robles, Lake Nacimiento, Lancaster, Carrizo Plains, San Miguel, Templeton, Creston, Palmdale, Shandon, Lake Los Angeles, and Atascadero. Okay, you guys don't know. I work in the Central Coast. So I know my cities, Paso Robles. Yeah, so I hope you guys are all doing well. Just keep that in mind, okay? So I wouldn't be surprised if you also get some fire weather alerts, high wind warning. Yeah, you're probably going to get something. So just that's something you want to be really aware of. No surprise. Look what's happening. If we kind of just take a look out here, and let me change our wind particles, okay? Let me go with a kind of a global look here. I don't know if you're going to love the quality as much. It's fine. This is just as fine, right? But this at least gives me a wider perspective. Now I can swing westward, right? Ooh, look what's happening in the Pacific. Ooh, Central Pacific, Northwestern Pacific. Once again, my name's Hawaii. You guys, I had you guys all set up for fire weather. I know there's been some weather across the Hawaiian Islands, but ever since then, I just can't take the names off. That's okay. We don't want to. We love Hawaii. Okay. So I'm going to do a couple of items here. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to leave us at our global GFS model at 100 kilometers, but I'm going to pump us up. I'm going to go into the middle of the atmosphere so you guys can see what happens with the winds. Oh my God. I feel like that character, Mr. Carter. Remember, what was his name? On Welcome Back Carter. I'm Gen X, so I'm Welcome Back Carter. So it was really funny. He'd be like, oh, what was his name? Oh, the character. Okay, anyways, so yeah, we have look what's happening here. Do you see this amplified pattern? Do you see this ridge of high pressure that's going to dominate east of the Mississippi? as well. So that's what we're looking at. Look at the amplification here of the wind at 500 millibars. Let's go a little bit higher, 250. Now remember, we go 200 millibars in the summer, 300 millibars in the winter. Here, I'm looking at the atmosphere level at 250 millibars. Remember, 100 kilometers, but look at this. Look at how good this is. Look at how volatile the winds are. They're just mean right now. Oh, they're just like, who stirred me up? I'm just not in the mood right now. I just love it. Oh, the wind is just so cool. It's just coming in here. And the reason we're looking at it at 250 millibars is because we want to take a look at the jet stream. Remember, the jet stream is the steering mechanism of the atmosphere. This is where everything is just like moving, right? So this is why I want to keep an eye on that. Well, that was supposed to be a 10-minute weather hit. We're at 15 minutes and 29 seconds. You know me. I can talk my ass off. I'm meteorologist Erica Martin with Weather Co-op, where weather meets community. I'll be back. I'm going to go ahead and download this one, upload it, and then I'll be back. You don't want to miss it because coming up, I've got your fallback forecast, guys. I don't know that you are going to want to see